Hello Year 4, welcome to your topic lesson on Monday the 25th of January. First thing you need to do please is write your date and WALT, which is Monday the 25th of January 2021. We are learning to explain why the Romans invaded Britain. Once you've written that, please underline it with a ruler. Right, your first challenge today is what is the same and what is different. I have got 5 pictures for you. 3 of them are of the Roman army. 2 of them are of our modern day army. I wonder if you can work out which are which. What is the same and what is different? Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, there are so many things you could have come up with. I'm just going to go through a few. Things that are the same. They are both wearing uniforms, so they both have helmets on. The Roman soldiers, which is 1, 2, 3 here on the left, they wear helmets. Our modern day soldiers have got helmets. The Romans have got on their armor, and they've got their shields and their swords and their red uniform here. And our modern day soldiers also have their uniform. They have their helmets and their camouflage. Oh, what else is the same? Let me see. They both have weapons, don't they? And they both work in teams, in groups. What is different? Well, our modern day army have got a helicopter and our Roman army have not got a helicopter. I wonder if you can remember one of the ways in which some of the soldiers travelled. We talked about it last lesson. Some of them travelled by horseback, didn't they? The way that they go into battle will be very different now too. Our modern day army is more strategic, whereas our Roman army would have just rushed into battle in a big group. Okay? It wouldn't have been quite so clever. It wouldn't have quite such clever thinking and working out as to how they go about their battles. There are so many things you could have come up with there. I'd just like you to cast your mind back to our last lesson and think about what you can remember. We talked about the Roman invasions. Okay, we talked about the map, and we looked at how over time the Romans invaded more and more of Europe and the top of Africa, and they were getting closer and closer to the United Kingdom until eventually they also invaded the United Kingdom. We're going to be focusing on that today. We talked about the Roman army and their soldiers. Okay, they got bigger and bigger armies over time. Sometimes they used auxiliary soldiers, so soldiers who weren't Romans. Sometimes they used their soldiers on horseback. They had quite a strong army. And we talked about their beliefs about conquering new countries, some of the reasons why they wanted more of that land, more of those riches. So today we're going to be looking at why they invaded England, why they invaded the United Kingdom, and whether you think they should have invaded. As we go through our lesson today, you might like to write some bullet points just to explain some of the reasons for and against invading, because that will help you with your work later. So, do you know who this statue is? Let me move it across. There we are. I'm not surprised if you don't. I didn't either when I first saw him. If you do, I'm very impressed, and I wonder if you could tell me any facts about him. This is Emperor Claudius, or Claudius, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to go with Claudius. Tiberius Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus was his full name, but he went by the shortened name of Emperor Claudius. He was the 4th Roman emperor, so the 4th person in charge of the Romans. He had some quite big footsteps to fit into. They'd already had some really quite good emperors by this point. He ruled from the 24th of January, 41 AD, to his death in 54 AD. AD means after Jesus was born. So he ruled from 41 years after Jesus was born until 54 years after Jesus was born. I wonder if you can work out how many years that was then. Pause the video, see if you can work it out. That would have been 13 years. So he didn't rule for that long, really. But his reign was important, particularly to us in Britain, because during his reign, during the time he was in power, the Romans invaded and took over Britain. Now, we're going to be thinking about the reasons for and the reasons against invading Britain today. And let me just remind you, as we go through the lesson, you might want to write some bullet points in your book about the reasons for and against. They don't have to be full sentences, but they need to remind you of those reasons to help you when you get to your task today, because you're going to be writing about the reasons for and against. So Emmett's been thinking about this, and he has come up with a table and put in reasons for invasion and reasons against invasion. Let's have a look what he's written. In the for column, he's put there was plenty of gold and silver in Britain. Okay, I think I might like to invade if there's plenty of gold and silver. There's lots of riches for me there. What about the next point? Invasion plans had been planned by the previous emperor. Oh, okay, so a lot of the work's already been done. The plan has already been put in place. And the third reason he's got for invading is that the Romans were excellent fighters. Okay, he's then got some reasons against invading. The first one says there were less risky ways of proving yourself. If it's too risky and it could backfire. Okay, there's a lot of risk involved. It might go wrong. And finally, we've got if we conquer Britain, we will need more people to defend it, which would cost lots of money. Is Emmett correct today? He normally gets his work wrong, doesn't he? Is he correct today? Have a look. What do you think? Are there any that you think need moving into the opposite column? So, oh, I should invade because there's lots of gold and silver. Yes. I should invade because the plans are in place. Yes. I should invade because my army are really good fighters. Oh, yes, that's a good reason. I shouldn't invade because it's quite risky and it might go wrong. Oh, yes, I agree with that. And I shouldn't invade because it's going to cost a lot of money. Oh, I agree with that. Well done, Emmett. I think Emmett's actually got it all right today, haven't he? Let's see if we can find out some more reasons why the Romans invaded. Don't forget, if you want to jot down some bullet points to help you, then you are welcome to do that, and you can pause the video at any point that you need to pause it. I'm going to start sharing this video with you now.
Look! This is where Julius Caesar landed, on this stony beach at Walmer in Kent, about 5 miles away from Dover.
I don't believe you. How do you know?
I know, because we Celts weren't too far away. We were warned he was coming by the Celtic tribes we knew over in Gaul. So we covered ourselves in war paint and waited for him. Whoa, we looked pretty fierce, I can tell you.
Well, you didn't frighten him away, did you?
Well, not at first. But we were brave enough to take him on, and he had 10,000 men and 500 cavalry. The storms finished him off.
The storms finished him off. Caesar wouldn't be bothered by a bit of bad weather.
Maybe not as a rule, but it was when his ships started getting stuck in this shingle. Well, you see, Caesar and his army didn't land at a proper harbour. So, when the storms came, his ships weren't protected and started to get damaged. Well, that's why he hurried back to Gaul.
Probably had a bit of important business to attend to.
Well, whatever his reason, it was good news for us Celts. Meant you Romans stayed out of Britain a bit longer. I don't really know why you wanted to come here in the first place. You already had a huge empire.
We had lots of reasons.
Like what?
Like... I'll show you.
From the 8th century BC, the Roman Empire began to grow. In 55 BC, Julius Caesar had gone as far as conquering France, but he wanted to go further. He believed Britain had lots of minerals like iron, silver and gold, which would increase the wealth of the empire and add to his glory back in Rome. After landing in Britain, Caesar soon fled when his ships got damaged in a storm. He came back a year later in 54 BC with an even bigger army. He fought the Britons and moved further inland, then decided to go back to France and never returned. In 43 AD, the Romans invaded Britain again, this time following orders from Emperor Claudius.
You see, we were always quick to spot something worth having.
Like that gadget, I suppose.
We Romans, we would have invented one of these eventually, you know. We were very quick off the mark.
Okay, a few more reasons for you there. Right, let's come back to our slides. Under here, we have got some red reasons which are against and some green reasons which are for. So let's explore those as well. If you'd like to write down some bullet points, then do. I have a very scruffy, so ignore the presentation, list of points I'm writing down as we go as well. So, our against points in red. It is dangerous trying to conquer. The seas are rough and close to the edge of the world. We don't know what to expect. Right, I'm going to write down dangerous in my against column. Dangerous. Okay, the next one, number 2. The weather is bad there. It just rains and rains. It is nowhere near as nice as in hot, sunny Italy. We are mad to go to that cold, misty place. So I have written down bad weather. Number 3, the soldiers have been scared by stories that the Britons are frightening people. Do you really want to expose them to that sort of danger? Oh, okay, so it's dangerous. We've already talked about it being dangerous. Let's put down the soldiers are scared. Soldiers, I'm just going to write down soldiers scared. Put that into my against column. I've chosen to do mine in 2 columns. You might have done it differently. These are just your notes. Okay, number 4. Is it really worth trying to invade again? Even the great Julius Caesar didn't conquer Britain. It will make you seem really foolish, that means silly, if you fail. Okay, so I've written down it might backfire and I will look foolish. Number 5. If we conquer Britain, we will need more people to defend it. This will cost lots of money. Is it really worth it? I've already got the money sign there, look, so I've written down it's going to cost money. And number 6, there are less risky ways of proving yourself. This could backfire badly. It's just too risky. So it could backfire. It could go wrong is what that means. That's my reasons against in red there. Let's have a look at some of the reasons for and see if I can add any more to my column, to my notes. Okay, number 1, Caesar went there 100 years ago. He said the tribes were always at war with each other, so this will make it easier for us to attack and conquer. Right, I'm going to write down tribes at war dash easier to attack. I'm just writing notes. I don't need to write in full sentences. This will just help me when I come to do my writing later. Number 2. If we take over Britain, we will be able to sell more of our goods to them. This will bring us more profit and the people will like you. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so sell goods there is what I'm writing down. Number 3, the people of Britain have been helping our enemies in Gaul by giving them weapons. We must stop this at once by invading Britain. Oh, okay, I'm going to do a bullet point that says stop British people, the Celts selling weapons. Okay. Number 4, Caesar has already been there, so he should know best. Okay, so we know what to expect. Know what to expect. I'm getting quite a lot of reasons for now. Number 5, there is a great wealth on the island. Caesar told us so. There is gold, tin, pottery, and even pearls. I've written down riches from our work earlier, our discussion earlier. I'm going to write next to that gold, tin, pottery, and pearls. There we are. Excuse my messy handwriting, I'm just doing it very quickly. Number 6, by invading this land, we can capture people and make them into slaves. They could then join our army, so the Romans don't have to do all the fighting. Oh, okay. So we're going to get more slaves, fight in army. Get more slaves to fight in army. That's my last point. Okay. There's lots of reasons for, there's lots of reasons against. It's quite tricky, isn't it? You now need to decide which side you sit on. So have a look at your reasons for and against. Decide what you agree with. Should they have invaded or should they not have invaded? Pause the video, look at your notes, decide what you think they should have done. Your task today then is to tell me, if you were Emperor Claudius, what would you have done? Would you have invaded or would you not have invaded? You are going to set out your work just like this example in the top right corner. So with the correct date, so this is the wrong date on here, isn't it? Monday the 25th of January 2021. We are learning to explain why the Romans invaded Britain. You are then going to write, my name is Claudius, and I have decided to, or not to, invade Britain, full stop. My decision was based on the following reasons. I would like you to choose 3 reasons. So they will either be reasons why, yes, we should have invaded. So I decided to invade because my army are good fighters. Tell me a bit about that. Why that is a reason. I decided to invade because there are lots of riches. I've heard there's even gold, tin, pottery, and pearl. This will make the Roman nation even richer. So we will be much, much stronger as a nation. Can you see how I've explained my reason? Pick 3 reasons, either for or against, and explain them, please. Now, if you want to go deeper today, you can put a spin on one of the reasons. So you can pick another reason. So I might say, these are my 3 reasons why I want to invade. My army are good fighters. There are lots of riches. And the tribes are at war. So it is easy for me to attack them. Then I'm going to pick an against reason and say, some people might say that it's a bit dangerous. Okay, so maybe we shouldn't invade because it's dangerous. However, I am really confident in my strong army. And because Julius Caesar has been there before, I think we are in a strong position to do it anyway. Hopefully you can see I picked a reason which comes from the opposite argument, and I twisted it round and explained why I'm going to do it anyway. So that is your task from today. Your steps to success, year 4. You need to put yourself into Claudius's shoes. Okay, let's make that smaller. Put yourself into Claudius's shoes. So you are writing as if you are him. You need to include 3 plausible, so 3 good reasons for your belief. So whether you believe you should or you shouldn't, you need to explain your reasons clearly. Okay, so put yourself into the emperor's shoes, choose 3 good reasons, either to invade or not to invade, and explain those reasons clearly. What you need to do now, please, is pause the video and very neatly in your best handwriting, write your work. Think about when you're going to start a new paragraph for each of your reasons, and then come back to me. Okay, well done, year 4. And great work, I'm sure. I can't wait to see what you have done. I'm really looking forward to later seeing what you decided and seeing what the majority of us chose to do, whether we invaded or we didn't invade. I hope you enjoyed that topic lesson, and I look forward to seeing you for the next lesson next week. Take care. Bye.